everybody, this is Laura from Middle of the Day signing in from VoxHall Aarhus. I'm sitting here with lead singer of Dynazty, Nils. Hi Nils, how are you today?
Hey, I'm very good. How are you?
I'm great now. So you guys embarked on a tour a couple of weeks ago and you've been to many different countries at this point. How's it been so far?
It's been really great, in short. No, it's been terrific, actually. Trying to remember how many countries, but it doesn't pop up in my head. It's been a few countries, many shows in Germany already. Many of them have been sold out. Fantastic vibes with the audience. They seem to love our new songs from our new album. And we have some new elements incorporated into our live show that we've never tried before, which has also turned out pretty amazingly. Yeah, lots of superlatives, but it's going all good.
Amazing. You guys dropped Game of Faces on Valentine's Day, the most romantic gesture I have ever experienced in my entire life. Game of Faces, your newest album. Talk to me a little bit about the process. How did this album come together? What is the ideas behind it?
First of all, we have to actually credit our record label Nuclear Blast for the Valentine's Day thing that you seem to have enjoyed immensely. It was actually not our idea, it was our label's idea.
This is your first time signing with Nuclear Blast, isn't it?
Yes, it is. This album was maybe a little bit different, especially compared to the previous one, which we wrote during all those fantastic COVID pandemic years. So with that album, we only wrote the album. That's the only thing we did, because that was the only thing that we could do. This time, however, we just came out of that time period and we were able to tour a lot, and we have been touring quite substantially, and we were writing this album in between tours, basically. It took a little longer than usual for us. Still, it's not very long, it's 2.5 years. We average usually 2 years between albums.
Yeah, you've been pretty consistent with dropping albums like every 2 years.
Yes, I think between the Fire Sign album and the Dark Delight album, there's only 1.5 years. So I think we're still actually averaging 2 years in between albums, even though we stretch it to 2.5 for this one.
So I've read a lot of amazing reviews of the latest album. People seem to love it. One thing that I've really enjoyed with this new album, Game of Faces, is how you play with the lyrics of the album. They are very interesting, almost poetic, and I would really like to hear about who comes up with the lyrics. Are you doing it all together? Is it you?
I write the lyrics by myself, and that's the way it's been for many years. I think the last time somebody else wrote the lyric for Dynazty was way back in 2012, maybe, ages ago. But we write the music together, or we write like a trio, me, Love, and Mike.
Yeah.
But the work of the lyrics in particular falls upon me and my heavy head.
The way you write the lyrics, is it fantasy? Is it, you don't have to get too deep here, but is it personal life experience, or is it just
generally, it's impossible to not write a little bit out of your own personal experiences, but it doesn't have to necessarily be about me, and it very seldom is, actually. I maybe just like the writer of a novel would draw inspiration from something that they have experienced in their own life when writing something fictional. I think that I do the same quite a lot. Game of Faces in particular was a result of the song itself, which is basically my method for writing lyrics in general. I listen to the song, or we're working on the song, and it gives me something, and it sparks an idea. That song, to me, had a very strong duality thing going.
Yeah.
It's this very dark song, but at the same time it has this chorus parts that is very happy, or almost childish like. So that made me think of, said this in many interviews already, it made me think of these theatrical masks where one is crying and one is happy. And that's where the idea for Game of Faces. And then I actually did something different for that particular lyric than anything I've ever done before. I wrote a I wrote it as a poem before I had finished writing the vocal melodies for it.
Okay.
And then I had to, it didn't really work when I was putting the lyrics on top of the melody because the poem had too many syllables and everything. So I had to cut things away, and it became quite different than the original poem, if you will.
Yeah.
And I've never done that before for a song, but I did it for this one, and I haven't done it since either. So
Maybe you should do it again.
Yeah, I probably will, but it hasn't happened yet.
Super cool. So with this whole new album that you wrote, I'm imagining that it must be kind of difficult to cherry pick which songs you want to put on your set list and tour with live, because you don't have any idea, like, or maybe you do, but I would think you don't have a big idea of like which songs are going to be crowd pleasers. So and now I say that I have followed the set list a bit, but I don't know what you guys are going to play tonight. But has it been difficult picking out songs, or were you like, this one we have to do?
It gets increasingly difficult with every album that we make, and especially in the last couple of years, we have many new fans and faces coming to our shows, and the band seems to be growing steadily every year. So it gets even more difficult to find a balance between what are the fan favorites, what are the ones that we always sort of have to play, and what new songs. And then of course it's always a guessing game with new songs, because you can to an extent make a very educated guess after all these years of playing live and releasing new songs and albums. You sort of know, but you can never know 100% for sure. And sometimes it's just the fact that a song works really well on an album, but for some reason just doesn't gel well with a live audience.
Yeah.
And I still don't have the answer exactly why that is, but that's just the case. And that's the beauty of music in general, is that there's never one formula that works everywhere, and you have to always adapt a lot. But we have chosen a bunch of new songs that we are playing on this tour, and I think that all of them are working very well. So
I am so excited to hear them.
but we will also need to play even more songs later on.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that because I saw that you're also doing a second tour. I don't know if it's an extended tour, a second tour in September, where you're only going around Norway and Sweden, and I'm not happy about that. Denmark is sad. Hello. So I have to go to Malmö. That's expensive. Will the set list be different for them? Are you going to try some different songs for that?
There's a highly likelihood that we will more or less play the same set as we are doing now. It might be a little longer actually than this set. So, but I can't really say for sure yet. And we have actually some more plans that are not announced yet for touring as well. So for this year, after September. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities to play. We sort of released Fire to Fight from the album as a last single on release day. We still haven't played it live. So we have to do that because people seem to really like the song as well. So yeah, there's lots to do still.
I'm going to drop some wishes in your mailbox. Feel free to ignore.
Okay, good to know.
Play Phoenix.
Phoenix, yes, that's another fan favorite already.
I was also thinking with playing songs live, I mean, needless to say, but you have an impressive vocal range. Really sets the tone of a lot of songs, the vocal gymnastics that you're able to play.
Yeah.
And now you're going on this semi-long tour. Do you have to do any exercise before going on stage for that, not to keep that warm? Is that just normal for you now?
It is kind of normal, but the problem with me and how I work is that I always make things even more difficult on every album. So it's like I have to catch up to myself a little bit. But this tour is going to be demanding. I mean, we're halfway through it now, and right now we're embarking on a stretch starting tonight with 7 shows in 7 days. First round we did 4 shows, day off, 5 shows, day off. Now it's 7, day off, and then 6 shows. So it's going to be demanding. What I do nowadays is I try to cool down my voice a little after a show. So,
Okay.
for example, when I shower after the show, I just smoothly sing some easy falsetto stuff, and that sort of seems to be work like stretching your muscles after a workout.
Yeah.
Same kind of principle. And then I do that a little bit before the show as well. I had some allergy problems a couple of days ago.
Oh, no.
Allergy season is already starting on the continent. Maybe not here in Denmark, but in places. And I felt it, so I got some allergy medicine, and it got very quickly better. So these are the kind of struggles that we face on a daily basis here.
I bet, and it's not like the tour bus and lots of traveling is doing any good to potential health problems or allergy outbreaks.
Usually it's not the best environment for any kind of disease spreading. If somebody gets sick and we get sickness on the bus, then what happens is that it sort of runs through the whole touring party, basically. But that hasn't happened yet either. So we're
Fingers crossed. Now I've followed you guys for a long time. And for the people who don't know, then Dynazty released their first album back in 2009.
correct.
That's a long time ago. And I think a lot of people have only really opened their eyes for Dynazty as a band when you guys came out with The Dark Delight. When you read about it, people are always talking about, oh, it's Game of Faces, it's Advent, and it's The Dark Delight.
Right.
But you guys have been making music for many years.
Yes.
And you started the band when you were 20 something.
I was at 19.
19. All right.
I recorded the first album, I was still 19.
Wow. The thing is, when you listen to these older albums, you guys, I mean, it's obvious to see that you guys have been on a crazy musical journey finding your identity, because what you made in 2009 sounds nothing like what we hear in 2025. Yeah. Do you have anything, what can you tell about this, about finding your musical identity, about how much Dynazty has changed as a band?
What I can say about finding your musical identity is that it takes time.
Obviously.
And for us, I mean, this is another thing with this album and all the interviews and all the press that I've done for it. There are some questions that always pop up, and it's about our musical identity, and it's about the fact that we've been the same lineup now for a very, very long time.
Yeah, exactly.
So this seems to be something that stands out to people in general. Musical identity. I remember in the beginning of the band's career, people had difficulty pitching us to whatever, a friend or whatever. The word of mouth thing wasn't really working because they had a difficult time figuring out what we were.
Yeah.
So we were difficult. You can't say okay, they sound like this band and a mix of that band. And now, I think that in the long run, this is a strong point. If you can cross that threshold and find your fan base, even though the word of mouth thing is going pretty slowly, then it's actually only means that you have a very strong musical identity, and people have a difficulty describing it because it sounds like very few other things.
Yeah.
And this has taken a long time for us. We've certainly experienced with a lot of different influences.
Who are you influenced by, would you say? Other bands, or are you influenced by any other bands?
Of course, I think it's inevitable to not. I mean, it's impossible to not be influenced by other bands. You hear them, you listen to music, and it just seeps through yourself, and it ends up in your subconsciousness, which comes out when you're writing.
Yeah.
So there's definitely influences. I try to answer this by saying we have lots of influences from the past and the history of this genre, and a lot of more contemporary ones.
Yeah.
And then people always say that we sound like metal ABBA, is what a lot of people say nowadays.
What does that mean?
I think it means that we have some sort of Scandinavian musical identity in our musical DNA.
Yeah. You can hear that you guys are Swedish. Is
yes,
that
exactly? And that's why they're calling it ABBA, because that's a reference point for many people abroad.
Yeah.
When it comes to Swedish music. So I think that's the reason why.
But I think it is completely different, this talking about your musical identity. Even though the music you made in 2009, 2010 is a lot different from now, I can definitely hear what is Dynazty and what is other power metal music, because
Right.
I do think you have a very unique sound and a very unique, the thing we talked about, like the lyrics, the poetic aspect of the lyrics are very unique.
Right, and I think there's many things that have been developed over the years. I mean, the guitar play, the interplay between Luva and Mike, and the way that they write those parts, I think is very unique.
Yeah.
And as a fan of rock music and that kind of guitar playing in general, to me it's very appealing and very intriguing.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a lot of different factors when it comes to what makes our musical identity sort of stand out a little bit, at least.
Nils, we're going to pick up the pace because I want to finish this off by doing something I like to call a rapid fire round. You know what that is?
Uh-huh. It's one of my favorite Judas Priest songs. Rapid fire.
That's not what we're gonna do.
Okay.
So in the rapid fire round,
Mm-hmm.
it's basically about clearing your head, not thinking about
Not the
anything.
easiest thing, but okay.
Especially now, I bet it's not going to be easy for you, but maybe it'll be good for you.
Could be.
Who knows?
Could be.
And I will ask you questions, and please don't think too much. But the
Uh-huh.
first thing that pops out in your head,
Okay.
you will answer.
I'll do my best.
We'll do a little warm up
Mhm.
because I'm nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So, clear our head. Mabu or Toblerone?
Marabou.
Oh, it's because you're Swedish,
Yeah.
right? Okay, beer or wine?
Beer.
Cool. Favorite vacation spot?
Australia.
Amazing. Okay, does pineapple belong on pizza?
It actually does, if you combine it with the right things.
Yes, and that's how you know that you're sitting with cool people. Come on. We do rapid fire round now, but with real questions.
Okay.
Head is clear? As clear as it can be?
Probably.
Probably. Alright. Your personal favorite Dynasty song?
Oh my god, presence of mind.
Amazing guess. Okay, favorite country to perform in? Don't have to say that.
Let's say German, France.
The great country of German France.
German, France, yes.
Right on the border. After
No
this,
offense to any other country, I love playing everywhere.
I'm offended. Best festival you performed at?
Sweden Rock Festival.
Oh. If someone asked me, Laura, who would be, like, if you had to sit in front of any person in the entire world, who would you pick? I would say you. But if I asked you the same thing, you don't have to say me.
You.
No.
Okay. Dead or alive?
Yeah.
I had this question a couple times. Of course, some of my heroes. I mean, I would want to sit down and talk to Ronnie Dio. That would be so awesome. He's not alive. I would have loved to have a conversation with Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. So those are my picks.
Do you ever put on your own music to enjoy on the tour bus?
Not on the tour bus. No, for fuck's sake, no.
In the shower?
No. I don't listen to our own music. What? I was just gonna fill in. This is not rapid fire questions at all. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
What it takes for me to actually enjoy listening to, like, for example, our new album, I need to sit down and, like, maybe drink a beer or 1 or 2 glasses of red wine or something like that, and then sort of objectivity seems to sit with me all of a
Yeah.
sudden, and I can hear it for what it is. Otherwise, I'm just thinking, we should have maybe changed that. We should have changed that. Back to the rapid fire.
Okay, so next rapid fire. What is your favorite Dynasty song to perform?
To perform, but I will say the same again. It's Presence of
Presence of
Mind,
Mind?
and maybe that's why it is my favorite song. I love to perform. It's such a great vibe. The audience always responds extremely well to the song, no matter where or how we play it. So
It is also a great song. What is one Dynasty song you've never performed but you would like to?
the easy cop-out answer would be Fire to Fight, because it's a single off our latest album. We haven't yet played it live. I'll pick a different one. Then I will go with Keys to Paradise, because you just told me it's one of your favorite songs and we never played it live. It's
That was
Titanic Mass album.
an amazing album, but you're influenced by me. I feel you're biased.
Yes, I am.
I just want to do a little quiz with you.
Uh-huh.
I forgot to give you a prize. I forgot to get you a prize. This is my fault. But are you familiar with AI?
Yes. Yeah.
You're familiar with chatbots?
I've heard about it.
I thought it could be really interesting to ask the AI, chatbots of the world, what is the 5 best Dynazty songs ever made?
Okay.
Yeah?
What did they come up with?
Yeah, but that's what you have to guess.
Trying to imagine what chatbot. I would assume that chatbot would pick Heartless Madness. I would assume that chatbot would pick Natural Born Killer. I would assume, how many was I supposed to guess? All 5?
3 out of
okay.
5.
Then Presence of Mind. Those 3: Heartless Madness, Natural Born Killer, and Presence of Mind.
Well, you have to keep guessing.
I have to keep guessing, like Game of Faces.
Are we playing Jeopardy now? One more.
This chatbot like, okay, not Jeopardy. Chatbot likes Call of the Night.
Chatbot likes Heartless Madness, The White,
The White.
Instinct, Heart of Darkness, and Natural Born Killers.
There has to be some specific reason for this. Like the final ad, there were almost all songs were from, besides Heartless Madness, all songs were from final ad.
Heart of Darkness, no.
Yes, it's from final ad.
Is it?
Yes.
Damn.
Means that it's somehow finding this information in a place where Final Advent album and Dark Delight, which means that those 2 are both released on AFM Records, so it's something. This is the reason why.
I did ask 3 different chatbots. They gave me the same answers.
Wow. But they're picking the data from the same place.
I feel bad for not getting your prize because you didn't win. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't win it. So.
Nils, it was really nice talking to you today. May I say it's been a dark delight.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to say to your fans about what they can expect future of Dynazty?
Great things. No, this year you can expect to see Dynazty playing live all through Europe this year, and maybe even on some other continents as well, if we actually manage to have time for it before the year is over. And at the same time, we are also working on other stuff that we need to work on at all times, basically. And there's just a lot of exciting things happening in the Dynazty camp, from my perspective and from my end of things. So I'm just very happy that people are really liking our new album and listening to it a lot, and it feels great to be out on tour in support of this album for real. And see you wherever you are, see you somewhere, someplace.
Go see Dynazty, follow them around. Breaking the Law, signing off from Metro Day. Stay mad.